EDM is currently one of the most well-known and applied electrothermal machining process. The material removal from the workpiece occurs due to the non-stationary electric discharge developed between the travel wire tube, electrode and workpiece. This case study conducted the connection with the best information they had access to. The authors tried to provide the image of the current state, scientific and technical knowledge about the EDM and future development directions. This research included characterization and evaluation of the main current achievement in the field of this process, the steps that led to emergence of main ways of approaching and optimization. The different aspects specific to the EDM process was made in accordance with the author opinion aspects. A brief statistical analysis of the research published to the date has been used to highlight interest researchers to investigate issues related to this process. As we working the fluid, denuded water is usually preferred since it has high fluid and allows such as the relatively simply removal of particles detached by the electrolysis process by action of the gravity. Less convenient is a possible development of an electrolysis process. The electrolysis process would generate the micro explanations by igniting hydrogen from the bubbles formed due to the electrolysis process. The undesirable consequence on the wire integrity but also the EDM of the machined surface. For this reason, other liquids usable for processing by wire EDM have been investigated and promoted. The speed of movement of the wire along the axis must be high enough to avoid affecting the precision of processing. By possible thinning of wire due to the electrical erosion which also affect the wire electrode. For a long time traveling speed about 1.5 to 18 millimeter per minute. The wire EDM process are used very high speed of traveling movement, high speed EDM process. It is necessary to insert the tension on the wire under the action of the forces 0.04 to 0.7 Newton. Ensure reflectionary in the machine zone. These are the construction of machines. The first proposals for use of this machines cutting metallic workpiece were formulated by Edm towards end of 19th century. A fuller outline of the field that would refer to electrical discharge machining took place once with the patent applications elaborately by Boris and Natalila in 1943. They aimed to develop a methods of machining electroconductor materials. Almost 2 decades later, the real electric discharge machines were used. Some of the movement considered decisive for the developing the equipment currently used for wire EDM were highlighted. These movements were mentioned according to the information identified in the consultant literatures. The improvements in this process and equipment, the general classifications, possible grouping, improvement applied to the wire EDM process could consider. The improvement regarding the machines, equipments and its operations. The emergence of hybrid machining process with the adaptation of machining equipments to the requirement of such process. Improvements of the geometric wire shape and chemical composition wire materials. The use of wire EDM process for new material including the improvement of the characteristics of the surface processed as a result of the application of wire EDM. Identifying the optimal condition for the development of the wire EDM process. The improvements will be preferably addressed below with separate chapters covering some key ways of optimization in wire EDM process. The viridium process, the case of workpiece that present a component with different thickness highlighted on an unstable process in the transition zone. The research development to avoid to reduce such negative effect aimed to using information during the processing process to assess the thickness of the workpiece thickness and it changes continuously, such as value of process input factor that an optimal occurs, the information regarding spark frequency, the abnormal ratio defined by the proportion of abnormal sparks in sampling period, the variable error were used, the new subsystems were proposed to be part of viridium machining equipments.